Okay, so we're inside now where it's not so windy, and we've just lightly sprayed with the Loctite, and it's very sticky. So what we're going to do is sprinkle our glitter on. I usually put down a piece of paper to catch my glitter, and you just want to pick a coordinating metallic to go with it. And today we're going to use Mermaid Dreams. So you're just going to lightly put some on. I get a little heavier at the bottom. And just let it fall on. And then I'll tilt it up and let some of it fall down. And I'm not sure how long it takes this stuff to like dry. But I don't go super slow or anything. But I don't think you have to be like speedy quick like you do with Mod Podge. So I just kind of coat the bottom. With these shaker bottles, if you have the multiple sizes in there, you can kind of tap it for the small stuff to kind of sift through. Sometimes that works. So now I'm just going to hold it up a little and sprinkle it from a little further away and just let little random pieces fall to kind of scatter them on the top. Barely tapping it. And just go around. Sometimes I'll let it kind of fill up on the ledge and then kind of shake it and let it fall down. And wherever there's a little bit of Loctite, it will stop and attach itself. And that also kind of helps it to fill in a little there. You can tap it if you want. Whoops, got a little crazy there. And if you have more in a spot than you want, I had a silver piece, just a straight silver, chunky yesterday, and I picked it out with a straight pin. Just be careful not to gouge your paint. Okay. So then what you're going to want to do is, see how all these pieces are sticking out? Just take your finger and tap them down. Or actually all of your fingers. And some of it will fall off, that's fine. And as you're going around, you can feel where there's still some Loctite. Like it's sticky right there, so if I wanted some more there, I could just sprinkle a few pieces. You just want to lightly tap it. You don't want to rub it, because if you do, it'll maybe make it look funky. So anyway, just kind of look at the edges as you turn it to see if there's any pieces sticking up. And then if you want to just kind of randomly sprinkle some and see where it sticks. Alright, so that's really all it is to it. And then once it's laying down, just kind of take a look at it and see what you think. If you want a little more up here, you would just take it back outside and lightly mist it again and repeat. So I'm going to go ahead and pause for a moment, and I am going to take this back out because there's a little more of the blue showing than I want to right here. So I'm going to just go back outside and lightly mist it like we did in the first video, and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, and I've just put a little bit more on top. So I'm just going to go back around it very lightly, because I don't really want a ton. And again, take it from further away and gently tap it to get a little more up top. Or as you sprinkle, tilt it down and let it fall. I like it with just a few random pieces. You can do it however you'd like, whatever your taste is. I just thought it was kind of cool to have a few little random pieces. And I'm a little slow when it comes to this because I don't want to get a big hunk to come out and have it look funky. Okay, so once you're happy with it, just repeat the tapping process again. See, I got a little crazy right there, so I might try to brush it off. And hopefully it won't smear. Once it's on there, it's pretty much on there, unless you want to pick it off with the straight pin. Now there are a couple of pieces that landed right here, so I'll probably pick those off with the straight pin before I put my epoxy on, because I don't really want them. I don't really want two of them right side by side like that. All right, so just tap it down and look and see where you might need something. And if you need to take it out for a third spritz of Loctite, that's fine. Alright, I'm going to stop before I get too much on the top, I think. Or either just pick up one or two little pieces at a time so it won't get too heavy at the top. You can pick up some with your hand and just kind of dab it on. That way you have a little bit more control of where it's going. Yeah, and it's getting a little too full. A little more full than I intended it to be, but I think it's still going to be pretty. And again, this is just how I do it. People do things differently. You can do whatever is easiest for you and gives you the results that you like. So this is just to give you a starting point if you haven't done cups before, or if you haven't done chunky stuff before. Just kind of, all right, it's definitely gonna be too much. I just can't stop. I can't keep my fingers off of it. Y'all ever done that? All right, so again, just tap around, make sure everything's laying down, and some of it will fall off as you do this. And then I'll take it outside and give it a good coat of the triple thick glaze spray. And that also helps to lock the glitter in. And if I see any sticking up while that is still tacky, I'll tap those down as well. And if there's one that's just sticking up that it won't lay down, I just pick it out with some tweezers. If one is like super stubborn like this one, you could just pick it out if you wanted to. Just pull it right out. And if you tap it harder, more will come off. So once it's under epoxy, it's locked in. But what you don't want is for them to lift up when they're under epoxy and come through your epoxy. You want a nice smooth finish. I used FX Standard on the one that I did last night, and it is absolutely flawless. I couldn't believe how lucky I got. Not even a piece of lint got in it. But that covered this glitter really well. If you use Illuminate, I'm going to say you probably are going to feel it a little bit maybe. But alright, I'm just going to go out real quick and I'm going to pause and try to get these two pieces out. And then I'm going to spray it and show you how to take the tape off and how to clean up the edge. Alright, so I've gone outside and sprayed this with the triple thick spray. And that helps to lock the glitters in. I did also add a few more glitters, and it's probably going to be too many, but hey, it would be alright. So this is very tacky at this point, but if you see any sticking up, you could tap them down. Just go right for that one that's sticking up. It might pull it off. That's okay. But you just want to make sure they're kind of locked in, because again, you don't want them to be lifting when you put your epoxy on, you don't want them to float, because that will make them rise to the surface and give you an imperfection in your epoxy. So once this part is done, I'm going to move this real quick, because I don't want any of that glitter falling in there with a lot of Loctite on it. So I just pull the tape off right now. Actually, I'll go ahead and remove the bottom. And you can use a piece of contact paper for this. Just cut it in a circle. That's way cheaper than using electrical tape, but I was too lazy to go back there and get my contact paper. So just pull it straight up and kind of on an angle. And then you're going to want to look at your edge to see if you have any pieces sticking beyond your paint, which right here we do. So we're just going to take our nail, and I have Loctite on my finger. We're going to kind of push it in. Sometimes it'll come off, which is fine. Here's another one. Tap it down. So anything that's beyond your paint line, try to either push that back or take it off, because you want a nice clean line at the bottom. Okay, so I think we're happy with that now. So we're going to let this sit for a little bit, and then I'll retape it slightly past the paint and put it on the spinner with some epoxy. And again, I'm going to use FX Standard. You can use whatever epoxy that you like the best to finish your cup out. So I'll go ahead and get this on the spinner later today. I have another cup that's going to go on my single right now. I don't have enough that I'm ready to do the 4 spinner, so I'm just going to use my single today. So if you have any questions, just drop them in the comments and I'm happy to help. Have a great day, everyone.